So today in class I shared out sleep lab data. And this can be complicated because we're going to use Google Sheets to do a lot of the math for us, and some of you aren't familiar with Google Sheets. First of all, you need to make sure you have the Google Sheets app. So if you don't, you want to go into self-service and go install it. It's green. There it is. Mine is installed, so I don't need to do anything. Next, we go into Google Classroom. For the sleep lab, you now have 4 documents. So the purple form where we did our data, that's the same. The red is there with the article. But the green sheet is new. So we want to open that sheet. As with all things, Google Classroom, we aren't actually in the sheet yet. We need to press the square arrow, that little annoying arrow, to actually open things in Sheets. Nope, come on, there we go. Oh, it's not going to let me make it any smaller. Anyhow, we press the square arrow to push it to its real app, but it's view only. This is an artifact of me making the assignment before the data was done, which is fine. We need to make our own copy, so we press the 3 dots, share and export, make a copy. Now I've already done that. So you can see that I already have a copy of the 2021 sleep data. Now that's not attached in Google Classroom. We need to go back to Google Classroom, and at the bottom here, press the up arrow and add an attachment. If you don't do this, I can't grade your assignment. So we go to Drive, My Drive, and it should be right there. If it's not, you might need to click Last Opened by Me. But it's right there, copy of the sleep data. You wait a second and it's added. So that's good. We can come back to this later. So back to the Google Sheet. Down at the bottom, we have several kinds of data. This is the all data, all 100 7th graders who answered. And we're going to do most of our math down here at the bottom in the green, blue, and purple. First up, the easiest thing to do is to go back and split screen with Google Classroom. Open up your purple form again, and we're going to edit our response not because we're editing our sleep, but because we need to go input or enter our individual sleep in here. So I'm going to enter text or formula, and I can see that for my fake student, you would have different numbers. I have 4 hours of sleep, then 6 hours of sleep, and then Tuesday night and Wednesday night are 6.5. We can't use fractions. We have to use decimals when we're in this app. If you use fractions, it will mess things up. And my last night was 4.5. Now, I didn't do the last 2 nights. Most of you skipped those because those were extra credit. And so what it did was it calculated my sleep at 5.5 hours. If you got 6 hours of sleep, if you recorded sleep for 6 nights, you would need to delete that, put a 6, and press return to get a different number. Now I had 5 nights of sleep recorded, so I need a 5 there. And when we press that green check, it calculates 5.5 for me. All right, the next one, we need to go back and open the yellow document. In this document, I tell you how to make a copy and attach it to Google Classroom, which we just did. But here in this white slide, we have the all data equations. So right here, underneath Sunday and the yellow 98 of the 100 students responded to Sunday night's sleep data. I need to write this equation exactly. The equal sign tells us to do math. Then sum means to add. Parentheses is going to tell us what to add inside the parentheses. B is the column, and 2 is the top box. Semicolon tells it to keep adding all the way down to the last box, B, and 101. We close the parentheses, and now if we hit enter or return, it did math. It added up all 100 or 98 pieces of data. And now, if I get out of the keyboard and I tap on this box and I slowly tap it again, I can copy the formula and paste it. it adjusts the formula to the next column, and that's why we get a different answer. Tap, tap, paste. Tap, tap, paste. If I go too fast, I get the keyboard, and that's annoying. I don't want the keyboard. Now, if you just copy these numbers, you're going to lose points. I want to see the equations. The equations are in there. And now we can see these filled in for us. The 510 nights of sleep entered by 107th graders totaled 3,895 hours for an average of 7.63 some hours of sleep a night. Our second equation is going to find the average sleep for each night. So again, I double tap the formula bar, and my equation starts with an equal sign. B104 backslash means divide. B103 enter, and it did the math for me. I get rid of the keyboard. I tap the blue box. I tap it again. Copy, tap, tap, paste, tap, tap, paste. The same as before. Now we can answer the question, which night did people sleep the most and which night did people sleep the least? Where is that question, you might ask? Well, if I press the green check, the questions section has 4 questions that we shouldn't answer until we get the all data, the female data, and the male data completely done. So the female data is done on this maroon slide, slightly different equations. We would put the equations in the same spots and copy and paste them across. The male data is on the orange slide. Slightly different equations. We put them in the same spots and copy paste them across. Now you don't have a purple one there. You don't need that. Okay, there we go. Now for some of you, this male set of total nights was wrong in the morning classes, and I fixed it for the afternoon classes. So we should fix those as you can. So these numbers for the male data were wrong, and that's what we need to fix. So hopefully that's easier to see. I'm going to save that to photos to show people tomorrow. All right, when you have all that done, you press the check so you can see your options, you switch to questions, and you answer your questions. That was a lot. The slideshow here next to you is supposed to help you. I went really fast, so split screening your sheet, your green Google Sheet, with the slideshow can show you all these parts and help make it a little bit easier. And in class tomorrow, we're going to finish. So if you didn't finish today, we can finish tomorrow. Tomorrow's also in-class work day to finish up the Chapter 1 book questions. Well, my 5th period class is about to join me. I hope that made sense. If not, email is always the best way to get a hold of me.